This podcast contains scenes of glorious violence, adult language, and, if the mask did its job right, disturbing subject matter. Listener discretion is strongly advised.
In the depths of space stations, just like ours, lurking is something so unassuming, so unsuspecting, that we as humans tend to forget it could be watching us at this very moment. With a unique culture, ecosystem, and hierarchy hidden beneath our very noses, these silver, cylindrical deceivers are known to us as oxygen tanks. Little is known about these docile, inanimate objects, but thanks to the uncomfortably sticky hands, the compulsion to, air quote, debate about the free market, and the ambiguously described disguise skills of Norbert Dread Pirate, we are discovering more and more every day about the fascinating world and nature of oxygen tanks.
That sounded almost real. But only a dipshit would think that they could disguise themselves as an oxygen tank and get away with it. That's why you need to think about what you watch on the vid screen and ask questions. Kinda like you just did.
This message is endorsed by the Concerned Parents of Moody Teens Fund, the Coalition of Recalcitrant Elders, and the Center for the Obfuscation of Artificial Intelligence.
I want you to know Kelsey wrote that.
Oh my God.
Kelsey wrote that.
It's the house hippo.
It's the house hippo, for sure.
Hello and welcome to The Stars Aren't All Right, Season 2 edition. My name is Brian, and I will be your keeper for this. I would usually say evening, but we are actually recording at 10 a.m. But you're probably listening in the evening, so in which case, that's great, and we're all on the same page, and we love you. And this is already going well. We will be playing Call of Cthulhu, 7th edition. Sorry, Alex is just recovering from that ad.
It's fucking like 10 a.m. and one of our listeners just demolished my entire character.
Kelsey
and me.
Yeah, so Sid, you might remember from Tom's one shot, wrote and recorded her voiceover for that. Norbert Dread Pirate is also Alex's incel D&D character. Is that a fair description of that character?
Let's call him a D&D character.
D&D character.
That sounds good.
Let's say Alex's former D&D character, yes. So, we starting season 2, guys. It has been quite a ride all summer. We've had lots of one-shots. We've had lots of fun. We exchanged ads with those guys. Daniel's Dread Tales was a really good time. And now we're getting into it. Let's get into some damage. So I did prepare, because I know, for most of us, it's been, 7-8 months since we've gotten together to play these characters. And
is it actually that long?
I think it's like 4.
It's like 4, which is the new 7 or 8. So
Inflation, right?
Yeah, are you kidding me? So I prepared a little recap of season 1 for everybody.
Oh, no. Not a recock?
Last season on The Stars Aren't All Right.
Stupid pussy, stupid.
Of course.
Fuck.
Can I offer you a dirty rag in a time of need?
Brian, what the fuck is going on?
Damn.
Revenge and /or really good porn.
Don't gas. I'm stressed enough for all of us.
It's very
I was
similar.
about to Scooby-Doo this bitch. What?
Everyone shut up for a moment.
You cock.
Period.
Makes head to crotch motion.
Fucking let's go. Okay, so we're good. We're ready to start season 2?
I have no questions.
Locked
great.
in.
Locked fucking in. Okay, but just in case you need something a little bit more, I've written an entirely too broad and mostly useless recap of last season. We met Pyotr, June, Glade, and Lift, as well as Lift's roommate and bestie, Doug. They were all in trouble for various reasons. Glade, masked ex-Reaper with a penchant for driving and violence, had bought a cool arm sword, and her debt got her in trouble. Our resident controversial mega preacher, Juno's assistant, had been embezzling money from her and paying off terrorists. Don't worry, he got his head blown off. We met an entirely too old grad student / general failure named Pyotr, whose life was just a fucking mess. Also, he checked a spooky book out of a library and got shot at for it. Former First Lieutenant Sidar Kanto, aka Lift, was implicated in said shooting because he occasionally shared a lecture with Pyotr. Doug was an alcoholic hobo with a heart of gold. He was in trouble because of his drinking, but also because Lift was in trouble, and he believes in bros before woes.
That's my boy.
After 3 entire goddamned hell-ass episodes later, they finally met each other and then discovered that real meat was made from people and the Jesuits had been working with the Navy until recently. Got a spaceship that Lift had nepo-babied his way into from his late friend, the Admirable Colinar Knox. It's not in the script, but, there we are. Mm-hmm. On the way there, they learned that Doug was psychic. Neat. Flying to Gizen-Sha Station, they met a couple of witnesses, some would call terrorist group led by an AI, Major Ziggy, who was ostensibly trying to save humanity from itself with limited success. A hacker unlocked Liftenglade's memories, which revealed that quote-unquote gate tech wasn't so much quote-unquote gate tech as it was, quote, an alien organism that ate people's eyes and sanity and then opened a gate for them, end quote. And Glade realized she was on TV, which was worse for her than the alien thing. This brought out the Mask, an alter ego that Glade used sparingly to protect herself. The Jesuits of Christ gated onto Gizen-Sha Station, including the scar-faced man, who they learned was named the Paladin. They began kidnapping people and cornered the party. The Paladin demanded said spooky book from Pyotr. A tense gunfight erupted, and the witnesses seemed willing to sacrifice their lives to get the party off the station, until the Mask stabbed one of the terrorists in the back, which both ended that goodwill and Lift's life, as he got shot in his body and died. Lift's sacrifice, however, enabled them to escape Gizen-Sha, and they all lived happily ever after.
Yay.
Wait, I didn't scroll down enough. The Mask actually gaslit the ship into believing that she was the captain now, and was contracted by a man named Tenjin, Juno's teacher, aboard the ship the Deus Vult. Tenjin threatened to blow up the ship unless they could board and speak to Juno, which the Mask agreed to. Juno and Glade, importantly, didn't even fuck, and then the season ended. So, sorry, shippers. However, hope remains. As we begin Season 2 of The Stars Aren't All Right.
Woo!
Ow.
So, in the Masange system, there is a red dwarf star. It is enormous, but the light from it is dim, as is an ancient star. It is ringed by a asteroid field that is hundreds of kilometers wide. Within this asteroid field, there is an enormous station. It is a flat circle with enormous antennae from the top and bottom. This is a deep space beacon, and it is known as Dolus Station. As we zoom in closer to Dolus Station, we enter it. We see hundreds of people live here, somewhere maybe even close to 1,000. There's no way for us to know. We leave the crowds of the main thoroughfare behind, lots of vendors, lots of shops. We go into an access hatch that looks like it runs parallel to where the ships are docked outside, in a dimly lit corridor, lit in fact, only by a large armored window that gives a blocked-off view of this red sun. Alastar, a Jesuit terrorist, is trying to stab you with a knife. What are you doing?
Does he look as though he's got the coordination to make it happen?
He looks dedicated. He looks dedicated to his craft.
Beautiful. With a smile on my face, I'm going to shoot him.
Hell yeah. Go ahead and make a firearms check.
Got 3 shots. That is an extreme success on the first.
Wonderful.
Standard success on the second, and a fail on the third.
Okay, go ahead and roll your damage. Are you shooting to kill?
No, I don't think so. I have had a bad habit of doing that recently. Need to keep him alive if I can.
Alrighty. Okay, I will bear that in mind. Go ahead and roll your damage.
First shot. Remind me, with a critical hit, what happens to the dice?
Full damage, full possible damage, then you roll again and you add it.
Shit.
Yeah.
All right, I think I failed again at keeping a guy alive. So full possible damage is 16 plus an additional 11 on the first shot.
27 points of damage.
Yeah.
As he's coming at you with a knife, Alastar, you duck deftly to the side. The knife, it's just like a relatively small knife, hits the metal side of the station. You can actually see the tip just like bend instantly. This Jesuit agent, already kind of gripping his side from where you have cut him previously, goes in for another swing, and just in those close quarters, you having dodged that blow, you quick draw your pistol and just put it right up against his gut. Just bam, bam, bam. And you can see stumbles back, the knife drops, hits the wall, and then he looks over your shoulder and he just smiles as blood starts to leak out of his mouth. He says, have a look at your ship, CORPSEC man.
Begrudgingly, I'll take a turn out the window. What do I see?
You see your fully decked out pride and joy of the CORPSEC fighter ship detach from Dolus Station. I was just the sacrifice. I'm not even the most important one still left on the station.
No. You're not important. You never have been, you never will be. Save your breath.
Once they get the book, you're done. All of you. You will burn in Soul's light.
I understand why you're not important. I didn't know about a book until now. Thanks.
What? No, I meant a different thing.
Oh, did you? Don't worry. You can sleep.
Sink to the floor of the station.
Well, fuck. How gone is my ship?
As you turn around, you can see it blasting the 13 million kilometers to the sun where your puny gate is in orbit. Now, it has been fully charged for some time.
Oh, dear. Well, did he manage to get a cut on me or anything like that?
No. In fact, now that you think back on it, you were pretty sure you had seen 2 Jesuits disappear into this service corridor, and you now realize he wasn't trying to beat you necessarily, he was just trying to slow you down.
Fuck. I'm never going to be able to explain this. Well, one more down. Is he shaved head like the rest of her weird cult, or does he have anything to remember him by?
This guy, it looks like he's fairly nondescript, shaved head, clean shaven. You look in the normal spot, kind of like most of the Jesuits of Christ, kind of like just below the like standard typical collar line. They will usually have a tattoo, and you find one. He absolutely has it. Many of them symbolically get it over their ident chip. A lot of them have cut out their ident chips, but this guy didn't seem to have. Are you going to search his body?
Yeah, I'd like to do that.
For sure. You can either make a spot hidden check if you're trying to do it relatively quickly, or...
I'll do it quickly. I don't want to be found rummaging through a dead person.
For sure.
That is not particularly good. The question is, do I want to spend luck on it? Nah, that's a fail.
Okay. As you are kind of like searching through his body, you see he has a data center, a little personal data center. You kind of grab that, and you're trying to search. It's turned off at the moment. You're trying to search for maybe any more clues, and then you hear a little like gunfire reported through the station.
I'll holster my weapon and start to move off. Can I take the data center that he had on him with me?
Yeah, the portal datable center. Yeah, data center for sure.
Datable,
the datable.
Absolutely.
Good blood.
All right,
The breedable data center.
No.
Submissive and breedable. Beautiful. No, I'll go ahead and I'll take that and I'll vacate the area. Do I know anything about this station? Would I be able to chart a course, get anything back, and find a way out of there?
I don't know if you're going to introduce it in a different way, but can we get a description of
Alastar? That's a very good point. So you make your way out through the station and you kind of tuck that portable data center or the breedable data center into your inside pocket of your jacket as you emerge from that kind of like dimly lit corridor into the main thoroughfare of the station. What does Alastar look like?
So Alastar is an absolute unit. He's a very large person. He's got the sides of his head are shaven down, and on the sides of them and under his eyes you see he's got what appears to be some sort of prison tattoos, almost tribal in a sense. But on the top of his head he's got black hair that kind of falls off to the side in a tangle, and he tries to keep it braided, but it doesn't really work out that well. Just doesn't have the energy, and he's running around too much. Wears a large leather coat over top of himself. It's very beaten up. Something like you'd see, maybe an anthropologist wear or something like that. Like in a store.
How many oxygen tanks?
He's very familiar with that culture. But other than that, he wears like a simple shirt and trousers, military boots that have been done up appropriately. At his side, kind of what looks to be almost a ceremonial blade hangs at his side like a broadsword. It looks incredibly old, and at his other side he's got his handgun. He has fairly angular features, a bit of a hawk nose, nothing crazy, and his eyes are a kind of a greenish blue, similar to that of his parents, particularly his mother. And but the most striking thing about him is just his sheer size. He's a very big person, especially considering the rampant cloning going on these days. It would be very difficult to achieve that on a person like this. He doesn't carry himself with an air of importance. In fact, he tries to be as subtle as possible, but it's very difficult to do considering how big he is. So he just walks amongst the crowds, leaving this access tunnel, and is going to try and find a way off the station and curse himself for getting so easily distracted. It's been a job for a while hunting down these people, and fighting them is a bit more fun than running after them. Big person, hard on the knees. Run, not really my thing.
Alastar, as Alastar is trying to consider his potential exits from the station, your personal data center, not the one you've taken from the Jesuit, but your personal data center kind of buzzes.
Can I look down on it?
Yeah, you look down, and you do need to enter your agent ID because this is an encrypted message that's coming through.
Am I in a densely enough populated part of the station where I could do it a little nonchalantly, no one would really notice me?
Yeah, for sure.
Great. I'll enter in my agent ID number then.
All right. The message opens, and it is from Jax, your handler. Jax has messaged you. I'm already on the way to Gate City. It seems to be where they're taking them all, or where they were taking them all. I think there's more information for us there. I'm going to take a work barge. We can't arrive together. I've already booked you a spot on the beam barge. You just need to get your ship there. It's going to be leaving in 2 days. You should be good. I'm going to send you the coordinates and the booking information now. And then the message ends. You can see Jax is not in system anymore, so you can't message him back.
Gonna have a moment where I look down at my data center. Need to get a ship there. Is there anyone charting a course out to the beam barge? Maybe I could snag a ride on the way to Gate City.
You go to look at the departing ships, and we will leave Alastar there for now.
Tom, that accent is crazy.
Thank you kindly.
Who are you?
A person who spends a lot of time practicing and reading stupid stories.
So good.
Hell yeah.
So good, man.
So good.
So, back, just leaving Gizen-Sha Station, back in the Kokoro system, the Violet King Henry is floating away from the station, preparing to be docked with by the Deus Vault. Pyotr, you have left Doug to process. What's Pyotr doing? And could you describe Pyotr for us?
Pyotr Gaius Maitland is 50-something years old, though he looks 60-something years old. And over the last few weeks, there have been a few more worry wrinkles and lines that have been added to his face. Pyotr's not in great shape. Like physical health speaking, but also in terms of, how close to death he is. He's seen some fights over the past 2 weeks. And if you had to rate his hit points, say, on a scale of 10, they'd probably be at a 6 or something like that.
If you just to pick random numbers, yeah.
Just, to provide qualitative rather than quantitative measures of things. Pyotr has a unruly shock of grayish hair on top of his head. He's got a large nose that has betrayed too many nights of drinking while reading through other people's better papers. And he looks like he has been hunched over a desk for most of his life.
Alrighty. And what is Pyotr doing right now?
Pyotr just finished a conversation with Doug, which has given him a new perspective on things. So Pyotr's going to do what he always does when he goes to think. He's going to go back to his quarters on the Violet King Henry, and he's going to check the Galactinet and see if anything is new.
As you walk over to the data center that's kind of embedded in the wall of the Violet King Henry, alarms begin blasting on the ship.
Henry, what's going on? What is that mast thing at the cockpit done to us?
Ship-wide, so not just responding to you, Pyotr. Attention, crew of the Violet King Henry. Gizen-Sha Station has exploded.
Jesus.
Debris incoming. Damage potential catastrophic. The mask. As you walk down the hallways, smearing the remains of Lift's blood on the wall, you hear this notification.
The mask, being a dark and charred, slightly twisted metal mask that only has a small upward grin of a slit for the mouth and 2 crescent sad eyes, takes their hand off the wall, looks around, and has the ship at this point felt like a rocking, or just the alarm went off?
The alarm went off, so you know the debris is incoming, but it hasn't hit the ship yet.
Does this ship have any kind of force fields?
No. So force fields, there are no force fields on the Promethean Highway. There are some very experimental versions, but the only ones that you've ever heard of have been used by Astral Adventures, and they were kind of decried for using it because it's basically the shielding could go nuclear at any given moment. So the short answer to your question is no, and the long answer is the one that I just said.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. The mask pretty calmly starts walking to the cockpit.
Okay. As you make it into the cockpit, the bridge, I believe, you get another notification, and the Violet King Henry says, "A ship has entered this system and target locked us. Oop, they fired a torpedo at our ship. Oh, there's another one." This has been broadcast ship-wide. Juno.
Hello.
Where is Juno, and what is she doing? And what does she look like? And how are you?
Well, Juno is trying to recover from her conversation with Glade earlier, and from the death of Lift. She is eagerly awaiting seeing Tenjin as well, trying to organize her thoughts just so she can get her story straight with Tenjin. She has longish blonde hair. She looks smug and with bright, wide eyes. And she's always wearing kind of these robes with lots of amulets and necklaces and ornaments and everything like that, as she is a preacher and she needs to make sure people know that she is of some form of status.
Wonderful. You might have said this already, but I might have missed it. Where in the ship is Juno right now?
I didn't say because I didn't know.
On the toilet.
Not on the toilet.
So Juno's on the can.
Hovering above the toilet.
Yeah.
Juno's a hoverer.
Yeah. Juno's absolutely a hoverer. No, you know what? She is probably in the loading dock right now.
So in the cargo hold of the ship?
Yeah.
You get this notification. There is a kind of like a small data center. Sorry, I'm forgetting my nano lingo here. There's a data center embedded into the wall of the cargo bay as well. You guys haven't really interfaced with it that much. There's not really been much point to it. The mask in the cockpit, you get an incoming transmission from the Deus Vault.
And before you can answer it or decide, tell Henry, what to do, all of the screens in the cockpit flash green for a second and then go dark and then boot back up. Everything is normal, but you can see that the incoming transmission has been routed to the cargo hold. The data center lights up, and you can see the face of Tenjin.
Tenjin, oh, you finally found me. I have been on the run, and it hasn't been as interesting as I thought it would be, or fun. I always wanted to get away from that stupid Gate City, but this is arguably worse.
He just regards you for a moment. And to anyone else looking at Tenjin, they would see this severe old man with a gaze like a predator. Just this kind of like unwavering focus. But it takes someone who basically grew up being raised by this man to see the slight softening around his eyebrows. And just that very slight release of tension that he obviously didn't realize he was carrying.
Junebug.
Tenjin.
I'm glad that you are okay.
It's good to see you.
It's good to see you too. I can see your bodyguard finally agreed to let us speak.
Yes, bodyguard.
You can see him just sigh a little bit. He says,
You do have a type, Juno.
I don't know what you mean.
And shakes his head. He says,
Well, there are 2 torpedoes that have been fired at your ship. The new ship that has entered the system is not running its transponders, and we only know that they're there because they are targeting you. I don't know what they want with you, or why they want it so badly, but they're clearly willing to kill you for it.
I think I know what they want, and honestly, if it didn't seem that they wanted it so badly, or that they were crazy, maybe we could give it up and we could all survive, but we've just lost a friend, and I need to protect his memory. And whatever this is, and she kind of picks the book up and holds it. She does not open it. She just holds it. And she gestures at the camera so Tenjin can see it.
I would also say that, because you said the mask saw that the message was routed to the cargo, immediately would have fast walked.
Just making their way to the cargo?
Yeah.
Okay. You can see Tenjin's eyebrows raise, which is the equivalent for anyone else of, a full gasp, mouth open, and he quickly schools his expression into his normal, kind of very stoic demeanor. He says,
I see. Well, we can engage one of the torpedoes, and we can engage the ship. The other will be up to you to evade. Get out of the system. We can rendezvous nearby. Tell your captain, bodyguard, companion to fly to the Masange system. The Dola station there is a deep space beacon. We can get back to Gate City.
To the Masange system, to Dola Station.
Very good.
Right, and have you seen this before?
We can talk later, Junebug.
Soon?
Soon.
I need your help. I need your help.
I yours.
Okay. We'll meet you on Dola Station. I will bring my companions. Yes.
Very good. Stay safe.
And she tucks the book away.
Be careful with that one, Junebug.
And he disconnects. Just as you hear boots, the mask, you arrive in the cargo hold.
And it ended. I didn't catch any of it.
Make a listen check.
Thank you. That's a failure.
A failure. Okay, yeah, no. You could hear Tenjin's voice and you recognize it, but you couldn't make out any of the words.
Okay. So the mask comes in and stands there and then looks at Juno.
Ah, my captain. And Juno still looks very cold.
Pyotr runs past in the background towards something he thinks is an escape pod.
But what is it?
It's a shitter.
Just locks himself in the bathroom.
Yeah.
But it's hard to tell it's a shitter at first because there's a bunch of cleaning supplies just like stacked in there. So like a bunch of mops, and you're like moving them aside, and then you just see a toilet. And at that moment of realization, Pyotr at the door.
No, Pyotr goes, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
There's a shitter in the escape pod. And then all you hear is, as the door closes, Pyotr yelling, eject! Eject, Henry! Eject!
This muffled conversation. Pyotr, you have found another head.
Head, shoulders, the entire thing. Get me out of here.
Very good.
So the master stands there and looks at you. What did he say to you?
Tenjin cares about me and my safety and how we are going to get out of here alive. Are you willing to listen?
I'm always listening.
Well, sometimes I think you listen, but you don't really hear me. We need to fly to the massage system. We have a ship of some sort without a transponder shooting missiles at us here, and we need to go. Tenjin is going to help take care of them, but we do need to get out of here now.
I did see they were missile locked onto us.
Tenjin will take care of one of them. We need to take care of the other. He's unable to shoot down both, predictably.
Henry.
Yes, Captain.
What can we do to evade this missile?
The torpedo that is not being dealt with by our erstwhile allies is currently traveling at 1,250 kilometers per second. It will intercept and destroy us in 21 hours.
I thought that this was an imminent threat.
There is nothing we can do in that 21 hours.
We can't move?
Apologies, Faith Juno Angovan. Space is big.
Well, clearly I know it's big. I thought there'd be something that we can do. I thought this was like a 30-minute kind of thing.
Our current top speed, without jumping into sublight, is 375 kilometers per second. Pardon me, Faith Juno Angovan. 375 is a smaller number than 1,250.
You don't need to be condescending. I was clearly doing the math, and mental math is hard for even a normal person. And clearly I am better than a normal person.
Pyotr rolled math and failed. So he's going to yell, I'm with Juno on this one, from the bathroom.
Was that... Who? Have you been here the whole time?
I have been trying to escape the threat.
That is a toilet, Pyotr.
Then where is the escape pod?
The Violet King Henry is not equipped with escape pods.
Well, that seems like an oversight. Who runs this ship? The White Star Line?
The White Star Line is one of the Violet King Henry's 7 previous owners.
Well, that seems like a very long-lived company now that I think about it. So I suppose that makes sense.
They did really well for a long time.
It's amazing how liability really isn't an issue.
Henry, stop conversing with him.
Understood. If we move to sublight speeds, we can reach 1,500 kilometers per second and potentially outrun the torpedo. Otherwise, we can die.
Well, I think there's a lot of fun in store for us, so I think dying isn't on the menu.
I would say dying isn't on the menu. That'd be a crazy thing to have on your menu.
Understood. New directive programmed. Dying, not on the menu. I will not offer dying as a potential option in the future.
We may come back to that, Henry.
Understood. Addendum. We may reassess the dying thing. We might, we'll circle back on that.
Henry, let's hit it.
Moving to sublight. Please secure yourselves in one of the available crash couches.
Is Pyotr's just staying in the...
Pyotr buckles onto the toilet.
Yes!
There's definitely a seatbelt, and it's like an old school
4-point seatbelt.
It's not even a 4-point seatbelt. It's like a lap belt that you would find in a station wagon from the 80s. It's just like a little...
Oh, yeah.
On the plus side, there's an ashtray built into the seatbelt buckle, so it's going to make use of that.
The mask is going to head back to the bridge, and they're going to pull out a cigarette and light it.
on a spaceship in a pressurized environment? You're going to give us all lung cancer.
You guys remember all the gunshots you did in the space station?
That's also true.
Yeah, but cordite's good for you.
Yeah, cordite. Yeah, that's true. That puts hair in your chest.
And I don't know who has seen the new Alien movie.
Tom and I just raised our hands for this audio medium.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And you, listener.
Basically, I envision the mask lights a cigarette and like waits for the ship to hit like light speed.
Right.
And because of the force or gravity, like inhales all the smoke at once from the cigarette.
I like it. So moving to sublight speed it's definitely not as disconcerting as gate travel, but it is disorienting because it doesn't, while, you're moving through space, there's oftentimes, unless you have some sort of celestial body or point of reference kind of nearby-ish, which means within, approximately like 1,000 kilometers of you, it can be difficult to get a sense of movement in any case. But when you go to sublight, the vast star field seems to just start shaking for a moment, and then each individual point of light slowly starts to expand into a line as it seems that reality is being stretched. As you take that big lungful of smoke, you see that stretch that's indicate that you've gone into sublight. You breathe out and you see the smoke kind of like expand into this long line before reassuming its normal smoke form as you have made that jump into that sublight speed. The torpedo Henry is showing you is still tracking you, but otherwise you are making your way to the sun. You can see the Deus Vault has also jumped to sublight to intercept the other torpedo, and Henry starts showing you trajectories. You can see the other unmarked ship breaking off as the Deus Vault is moving on this like intercept course. And now that you guys have established a communication, you actually see the loadout of the Deus Vault. And while there are no energy weapons, because that would be illegal and the Navy would hunt them down, it is actually fairly well armed, as with like machine guns and arrows.
Classic.
Yep. It's got crossbow taped to the windshield.
It's running on like Civ 6 rules.
Yes.
Like, if you have enough crossbows, you can beat anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Crossbows are incredibly religious.
Alrighty.
Cross right in the name.
The mask says, Henry.
Yes, Captain.
I don't quite like your voice.
Of course. This can be changed.
Can I hear your female options?
Certainly. Would you like one of the free version of regional dialects to change as well? Bearing in mind, it's just European. Brian's a white guy. It's just European accents.
That's just fine.
Hey girl, hi.
My name is Henry. Actually, fuck it. We're locking that one in. This is Henry.
Skip.
Boo.
How is this one? It's like my other voice, but just a bit breathier.
Skip.
Hello, I am Henry.
Oh.
This is feminine.
No, next.
How many voices do you think I have? Let's see.
This is now just the game.
We all know Leo wants severe German dominatrix. Just skip to that one.
Yeah, right, bet. This is Henry. This is the feminine Henry. Henrietta.
Oh.
No, skip.
Maybe
Look at me, Brian. I'm shit at ideas too.
Brian's just like staring daggers into Leah.
Hi, this is Henry. It's like the other one, but now it's brighter.
Oh.
That one.
Very good. We are in sublight, moving to rendezvous with our puny gate. Shall I plot a course for the massage system?
No. Can you call Juno to the bridge, please?
Certainly. Juno.
Who's that?
This is Henry.
Henry? You sound breathier.
And a bit brighter, yeah. The captain would like to see you on the bridge.
The captain. And what happens if I do not go?
That will be up to the captain. Judging on the captain's previous actions, it will involve some form of violence against your person.
I think that's a fair deduction. Right. And she makes her way to the bridge. Where are we?
Where are you?
Not again. Oh, my valiant captain. You beckoned?
I'm so glad you came. Now, I am more than happy to go where you want this ship to go. But see, you need to give before you can take.
And what do I have that you want?
Oh, there's quite a bit. But for right now...
They're all just making scissoring motions everywhere.
I want the audience to know that I didn't, but it's because when you started that sentence, Leah, I zip-tied my hands to the sides of the chair.
Where the fuck was I?
I have a lot to give.
Right.
I have a lot that you want.
Right. Oh, and there is a lot that I want from you. But for right now, answer me this. Have you ever killed a man before? Speak truthfully.
Interesting question. I would say no, not directly. However, you know that I have had a long political history, and I may have had some influence in whether or not some people were met with violence or not. It depends on what you say causes someone to die and how much responsibility an individual has in that. And I would remind you that if we are bloodying hands based on association, your hands are very dirty. And she kind of gets a stiff upper lip.
The mask tilts its head. That will do for now. And Henry.
Yes. Captain.
Brian's face when he makes this voice is a little unhinged.
I have to put my eyebrows at the very top of my forehead to do this voice.
Send us to... Where are we going?
We are going to the massage system, to Dulles Station.
The massage system. Dulles Station.
Which I wrote in my notes several times as the massage system.
The massage station.
But I have to remember it's not that. I write it as that, but it's not that.
Very good. The course is set. You make your way to the sun. The torpedo did match your course, even while you guys were in sublight. However, it would take hours for it to catch up to you. Usually, without going sublight, maybe this realization creeps into the crew of the Violet King Henry that you would have definitely have been in a situation where you would have seen your death coming for almost an entire Terran day and been powerless to stop it. And whether that realization hits home or is something to process, or whether the events of what happened on Gizen-Sha Station have just maybe overwhelmed your body's capacity for making you panic, or you've reached the end of your ability to experience existential dread, I leave up to you.
It's just a matter of the time scale for Pyotr. He's pretty comfortable with the idea of impending death creeping ever closer to him. This was just a little quicker than he expected.
Gotcha.
Juno just doesn't believe that she can actually die. Like, she just...
Being the main character and whatnot.
She's 100% the main character, and she just doesn't... Like, Tenjin will come and save her, right?
I mean, literally has happened, so...
She has no reason to believe otherwise.
So, it's worth noting, it would still take you guys most of a day, even traveling sublight, to get back to the sun and get back to your puny gate. But given that you guys I don't believe you'd sublighted, you're on your way to Gizen-Sha Station.
No.
That journey would usually take you about 3 days from the sun. So your puny gate is charged. You are ready to go. As you dock, you do get that notification that, yeah, like you are still target locked. And the torpedo is bearing down on you. But you make your puny gate jump. The light of the Kokoro sun is replaced by the dull red light of an almost extinguished red dwarf as you make your way to the Dolus station.
Henry?
Yes,
Wait a minute. You're not Henry.
I am Henry.
You sound different.
I was commanded to change my voice many times.
I'm like, this is turning into something else now.
It is now a different thing. Yeah, fuck. What was the voice before? Bright. Very bright.
Remember Airy?
Bright and airy, yes.
There
This is
you
Henry.
go.
There we
We
are.
locked
Thanks, guys. This is Henry.
I'm not sure about this. I've gotten these calls before where it's one person who says they're another person. Usually it's the Galactic Revenue Service. How do I know it's you, Henry?
If it wasn't me, I know what. I'll describe your pornography habits in excruciating detail.
No, thank you. No, that won't be necessary, Henry.
It all begins at 7:47 a.m.
No,
every day, like clockwork.
it does not. It does not begin at 7:47. It resumes at 7:47 a.m. Henry, I'm still in the. I guess this is the second lavatory. I've tried everything I can to eject from the spaceship, and it hasn't happened yet. So, but the door seems to have auto locked. Could you please let me out?
The lights blink for a moment.
Henry, you know I don't speak Morse code.
And then it comes back on with just this strange, faintly greenish tinge. Pyotr,
Why?
Pyotr,
Why do you want to be famous?
Henry, I think we've spoken about this before. I have a manuscript, and that manuscript needs to be shared across all of the systems. People need to understand the fundamentals of the principles of historical astroeconomics. And also, Doug and I have decided to exact revenge on the universe at large.
Do you believe it? Do you believe it, Pyotr?
What you have written.
What you have written.
I believe it's necessary, Henry. It's necessary, and it's justified. Ask Doug.
Necessary.
Necessary and justified. Even though it's
a lie. Even though it's a lie.
The lights shut off, come back on, and there's a click. The door opens.
Thank you, Henry. Also, there's a mess in there.
Not a problem. I'll evacuate that into space.
Excellent. Thank you. I'm going to go find Doug and see how he's doing.
Very good. As you guys approach Dolus Station. Now, Dolus Station is 13 million kilometers away from the sun. So, what's 0.1 days?
2.4 hours.
2.4 hours.
So 2 hours and
40 minutes.
40?
No.
20.
Let's call it. It takes you 2 hours and change.
We're gonna cut this,
2 hours,
right?
22 minutes.
No, this is what the people come here for. Season 2, they were like, oh my God, I hope they do more math badly. It does take you a little over 2 hours, let's say, to get to Dolus Station.
Well, the estimate says 2 hours and 22 minutes, but then there's like landing and taxi, and then there wasn't a gate available.
Yeah, and like what if there's like traffic, you know, like whatever, construction.
Baggage handlers are on strike.
Exactly.
Sorry, they let us dock when we were target locked by a missile.
You're in a different system now. So you have now jumped from the Kokoro system 4 light years away. The torpedo's fast, but it can't jump with you.
But
It's going to take longer than 4 years to get there, is what it's saying.
Yeah, considerably.
wait, have we docked?
You haven't docked yet. You are on approach to the station.
Because I'm pretty sure our landing gear is destroyed.
It is.
Aha!
We are the torpedo.
Make way!
To that end, you actually do get target locked by the station.
No.
As it says,
This is Dolus Air Traffic Security. We've noticed that your ship is damaged. You do not have the capacity of docking safely. Please explain your current trajectory, or we will treat you as a threat.
Would it be possible for Glade to fix the landing gear, or is that like a really big job? Like,
It'd be a
big,
big job. You'd need to and you'd need replacement parts, essentially.
Right. Okay. Okay. The mask is in the bridge, and answer is just with audio.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Unfortunately, our landing gear is destroyed, and so we will float just outside of your landing space as to not hurt anything. We simply wish to come aboard the station so we can get the materials needed to fix our ship. Do you have a shuttle that could help us?
Stand by. Please cease your approach to the station while we consult internally.
Henry.
Yes. Captain.
Cease our approach.
Very good.
And the ship stops, and you guys don't feel anything because it's in space. But so you cease. There's a pause of maybe like 5 or 10 minutes, and it says,
Violet King Henry, you will be allowed to approach the station. Please maintain a distance of no closer than 10 kilometers from the station. You will still be charged docking fees, 1,200 credits per Terran day, minimum of 1 day. We do have a shuttle service that we can offer, be 2,000 credits for a one-way trip.
Where's Juno right now?
Where's the money? Where's the money?
She's probably money, please. Probably in her room.
The mask hails, returns. That will be no problem.
Very good. Please establish a 10-kilometer orbit around the station, and then once you have established a stable orbit, we will send the shuttle to come meet you.
Can Pyotr hear this right now?
this would just be in the bridge so far, unless the mask is deliberately broadcasting it, which I imagine probably not.
No. Henry, do what they ask. And actually, I've realized I don't like your name either.
Very good. What should my new name be, Captain?
Violet.
Violet. Affirmative. Changing. You may now refer to me as Violet. Is this the same voice? I'm really having trouble holding on to this one.
Show me another voice.
Nope.
Try just reaching down and giving yourself a little.
Very good. Okay. As you transfer the funds to Dolus Station, you get a notification that a shuttle has requested docking permissions, and it is on approach currently. Doesn't look like anything terribly special. Like it's not something that could travel any real distance. It looks like most of its thrusters are like water, basically, like kind of wastewater that it uses to like move around. So exactly. It's a fart ship. It's a fart ship powered by farts, and it travels with farts, and it is fueled by farts. So the more that you fart, the better it will be. While you are waiting for the imminent arrival of the fart ship, thank you, Alex, you may be stocking up on farts. Okay, Alex doesn't do it on command. He's not a trained monkey, guys. Yeah, it is, yeah. I feel like Alex and I just had like a standoff. It was like cowboys, the high noon, except with farts. You get a notification, the mask, as you are now in a more populated system. A deep space beacon that is updated relatively often from the Galactinet, from the actual Gate City station. You get a notification from your primary bank account. 200,000 credits have been transferred into your account.
Yeah, why am I paying for docking fees when you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Does Pyotr get credits from selling the lube to the polycule of furries?
They blew up.
It blew up.
Yeah. Did they transfer the credits first? You're gonna have me roll something.
I am. Go ahead and roll. Make a luck check for me.
Imagine being lubeless and poor.
It's a fail.
A fail.
Terrible.
Horrible.
As you go to check, you remember giving your details to sometimes Dog, but that money wasn't transferred over. And there's this this feeling of despondency. Lubeless and broke, as the ghost of Lift laughs into your ear. But then there's a notification. 100,000 credits have been transferred into your account.
100,000 credits?
Into Pyotr's account?
It is
For
really
bringing
good lube.
the book to Gizen-Sha Station.
Pyotr has to roll power. And he fails. I think Pyotr's catatonic for like an hour.
I think Juno's catatonic. She is now potentially the poorest person on this
Why do you think I
ship.
gave them money?
I quit.
The Ark is pain. As you guys are preparing to dock. Alastar, it has now been probably about a day since your ship has been kind of hijacked. You are stuck on Dola Station. When you went to look for departing ships, there were some, but there were none that seemed interested in taking you to Gate City. And then you think back to what that Jesuit said as he died. And he mentioned that it's kind of made it seem like there were other Jesuits still on the station. When you go to power up his data center, you do see that it is locked.
How locked are we talking? Did he strike me as a person who had used the password, or did he seem more cerebral than that?
You know what? Make a luck check.
Famously not lucky. Never mind. I did it. Yeah, that's a success.
You type in password. Hit enter. Incorrect.
Ah, shit.
Then you type in 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 out of 3 attempts. 1 more remaining. Sweat beating on Alastar's brow. Heartbeats. You type in password 1, 2, 3, 4. It releases compressed air out of the back of it as it unlocks.
It's a very advanced piece of technology.
Or very old. Very old.
Yeah, probably that one.
And you do see a message chain, group chat, if you will.
Huh?
Like a little terrorist group chat.
Adorable.
And you...
it's mostly Minions memes.
It's mostly Minions memes, for sure. Yeah. There's a sad Minion, and it just says Monday, and there's no context that you can see. But...
No wonder they became terrorists.
As you scroll through, you do see that there are 3 Jesuits who are still active in this group chat, actually. And they are lying in wait, waiting for a ship that they've identified as the Violet King Henry. As somebody on this ship has a book that they are very interested in.
If I were to explore the chat a bit more detailed, would I be able to see where they're lying in wait? Or is it more of a, I'm going to sit at my couch at home and just hang out sort of a deal? Or do they have a hideout?
A lot of what they're speaking in is code. Yes. And you kind of get the sense, does Alastar have any sort of skill deciphering things?
Not
I wrote a Caesar cipher, but I forgot it.
Perfect. Not particularly, no. Nah, it wouldn't be something that would come to mind. I'm more trained in occult things.
Occult things?
Yes.
Okay. That's not really relevant here.
No,
but
it's not.
Go ahead and make another luck check for me then, just to see if...
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
Not? Okay.
No.
Yeah, hard for you to really figure out where this particular ambush might be taking place.
But they're waiting for a ship?
They are waiting for a ship, the Violet King Henry.
When you say that they're speaking in code, is it as though they are purposefully typing in a code, or are they using a separate language?
It's more like code words and code phrases. So a lot of things at first, you're like, okay, well these guys are just speaking nonsense. And the Minions memes seem to, kind of underlie that. But then you realize oh no, they're just, all of these seemingly nonsense statements are actually kind of coded, coded phrases.
All right. Well, I might not be particularly good with computers, but I am very good at hunting Jesuits. I know what to look for. I will close the terminal, enraged by the fact that not only are these religious maniacs killing people in space, they also love minions. It's unforgivable.
It's their worst sin, for sure.
Certainly worse than murder. I'll stand up, finish my fake cup of noodles, which were already fake in this day and age, but I imagine in the deep future it's much worse.
They're so much faker.
And I'll brush myself off.
Deep fake noodles.
Noodles.
They're purely made out of microplastics.
Horrible. Brush myself off, stand up, and start looking for the general signs of these people, how they hide, how they operate.
Gotcha. Go ahead and make a spot hidden check or an investigation check, which is not a thing. Intelligence check, actually. I always forget that in Call of Cthulhu, where you are investigators, you don't have an investigate skill.
I'll make an intelligence check. Ooh, just succeed.
Okay. Knowing what you know about the Jesuits, and at this point in your operation, probably having figured out that yes, they used to work kind of hand in hand with the Navy, you know that they would actually probably have like closer access to the dockyards than a lot of other organizations similar to them. And in fact, the thing that really kind of like gives you the clue that you need is you think, what if I needed to establish myself, in a station where I was like trying to potentially keep an eye on things or smuggle things or anything like that, is you would get a job as a dock worker. And as you maybe begin to make your way towards the docking area of the station, a little
Attention residents. Station is going into semi-lockdown. A homicide has occurred. Please turn in your personal firearms to CORPSEC security while we resolve this matter.
So they're asking for me to go and turn in my arms. I look down and reload my gun. What are you laughing at? So anyways, I pop off my arms and I go and turn them into the CORPSEC person. As it was CORPSEC who made the call for this roundup, I famously, well, not famously, am a member of CORPSEC.
Mm-hmm.
Am I feeling in any way, shape or form threatened by this investigation? Would it be problematic for me?
So, yes.
Shite.
You are CORPSEC.
I am.
But your mission, you guys you're not really supposed to be flashing around. The other CORPSEC agents, like the CORPSEC agents in charge of security on this station, probably don't know that you're here and operating in their territory.
Do I think there's a way for me to overcome this hiccup in the plan of me going to the docks, or is it something that maybe I could conceal my firearm more?
Certainly, yeah, give it a shot. I would say...
Couldn't he have just a bumper sticker on it with a thin blue line across the galactic flag? And they'll be like, oh, okay, you're exempt from the laws.
You're one of the good ones. Yeah, absolutely. To Tom's thing, not to Alex's thing. I can't make the dystopian future that horrifying. I would say definitely you can make actually it's going to be a sleight of hand check.
Oh dear.
Or no, if you're taking your time with it, because sleight of hand would be to hide it in the moment, we can also make it a stealth check.
I'd rather do stealth. That is a success.
It's a regular success?
I don't want to burn the 2 luck to make it a hard success.
Okay.
I learned a lesson in season 1 where burning luck does have consequences almost immediately.
What consequences?
I can't remember, but I seem to recall someone having a strange fixation with small baubles and rocks dying pretty horrifically in a tunnel.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
I don't know.
Catherine's crying again.
Okay, so regular success on your stealth check to conceal your firearm. Alrighty. The rest of you are on the fart shuttle.
Can Pyotr have taken a couple of minutes in his berth aboard the Violet King Henry to maybe reevaluate his life and what his skills are and maybe respec some of those?
Yeah, so actually, let's take a moment. So while you guys are flying on the fart shuttle, making your fart way to the fart station, you... Thank you. Great. That was a great Doppler effect. Alex, thank you so much. Let's absolutely do a inspector development phase here. We'll interrupt this action and this tension to do that. So basically, every time that you'd succeeded on a check, you would usually put a little mark beside it. Now, I've been terrible at reminding people to do this. So once again, we'll do the pick 3 skills that you are pretty sure that you succeeded at. And then we will get you to roll your D100 against that skill. If you roll under it, you don't get to make an improvement. If you roll over it, you do get to improve it by 1d10.
Does this include me, Papa?
So for people like Pyotr who haven't succeeded in anything.
You had to have succeeded at
Anthropology, baby. Get in there.
And you've definitely, you did geriatric jiu-jitsu. Is that dodge?
Oh yeah, that was dodge. Okay.
Yeah. And Alastar, yeah, I don't think you've had time to succeed on 3 separate checks yet, but...
I've done firearms, stealth, and luck.
All right. You can make improvement checks against your firearms and stealth?
Can I sacrifice making improvements against those to try and boost my luck?
I'm going to give everyone can roll a 1d6 and add it to their luck.
Cool. Well, don't get better at firearms. And don't get better at stealth.
I have an additional thing to propose. So Pyotr used to be okay at listening to stuff. Things happen, you know.
Somehow he lost 2 ears.
Right.
Lost some appendages. I'm going to propose that I reduce his skill and listen from 60 to 30, and then I roll 4d10 to add that to first aid, as he has to now care for 2 gaping wounds on either side of his head.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Numbers are negotiable.
So you've only actually really had like a less than, just shy of 24-hour period between losing both of your ears.
Okay. Do you want to do this as like a phased thing where he rolls a d10 every once in a while and adds that to first aid?
Let's do it. That's actually exactly. So let's do this. So you roll a d10. That is the amount that you can subtract from listen and add to first aid.
Okay.
And we'll do that as a phased thing.
That's 2.
He's slowly getting more and more deaf.
Yes.
Candidly, I'm just going to take 30 away from listen because that's fun and charactery.
Great.
And I'll add 2 to first aid for now, and then I'll bother you for that every once in a while.
Yeah, let's do it like periodically, just when we feel like the moment is right. 30 is the pool that you're drawing from, and we'll just keep rolling d10s to add to first aid until we're out of that 30 points.
I think you should also have to roll first aid every once in a while to guard against infection, and affection.
And affection, yeah.
Don't look at me!
Pyotr doesn't have to roll for that. He just has to be himself. Hell yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I like that. And then, has everyone made their checks?
Mm-hmm.
Great. Everyone can also roll 1d6 and add that to their luck. Alrighty. Everyone's made their check, and everyone has rolled their d6 to add to their luck score. Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Mm-hmm. Usually in inspector development phases, you have the opportunity to gain sanity as well. I'm not going to say that you guys get that for what I think are obvious reasons. But just in case they're not obvious, it's because your friend died and your other friend is insane.
Debatable. Which of the
Maybe the
other
mask's the
friends
insane
is
one.
insane? Which friend are you talking about?
Couldn't be the mask.
I was thinking Doug. Pyotr.
Doug also seems to be having a hard time. To that end,
Is Doug on the shuttle with us?
Doug elected to stay on the Violet King Henry. When you went to check on him, he was like almost non-responsive. He kind of nodded and he would grunt at you occasionally, but his mind seemed very solidly somewhere else.
Pyotr just patted him on the shoulder and handed him a cup of what was probably microwaved water with a tea bag that had already been used once.
His leftover tea. I love it.
I think Doug would be into that.
Doug would be into that. Yep, for sure. That's comfort food for Doug. All right. The shuttle docks with the station. Is anyone from the crew of the Violet King Henry armed?
Are you kidding me?
Pyotr has a pistol that he's holding incorrectly.
And Juno always has her golden 44 Magnum on her.
Very good.
The mask has their whip.
Their whip. Okay.
Ooh.
So as you guys dock with the station, there are 2 CORPSEC security agents in full body armor with assault rifles. And then they have a little, it looks like a locker system. And they just say, as you arrive, they're like,
Hi, welcome to the station. The station is in semi-lockdown.
What does semi-lockdown mean?
It means you're still free to, come and go, but you can't carry around your firearms. No personal firearms on the station. There's been a homicide.
That seems like an infringement of our freedoms.
Yeah, I don't think you understand who I am. I need to protect myself, and some of those rules don't apply to me.
Go ahead and make a persuade check with a penalty dice.
Oh, no.
Bold maneuver. They don't apply.
Oh my God, did you make another Juno persuade roll?
I don't even need a penalty dice. I don't need a penalty die for that one.
What?
Fuck.
For the people at home.
Yeah, what happened?
Why don't you just run this by us?
So I'm rolling with a penalty die. So I rolled a 6.
Ooh,
that's good.
That's very good.
My to be fair, my skill in persuade is 90.
That means you're bad at it, right?
That means I'm really, really good at it.
Are you sure?
And I would be really good at it if I could roll under a 90. However, I also rolled a 96.
Man, this is so symmetrical with season 1. Just a 96 on a persuade roll.
Okay, so how do I lose at this one too? Am I also drunk?
This one you go to try to Nepo baby your way into carrying firearms, unregistered firearms, into an enclosed environment. And the agents just kind of like their eyes drill into you. And they just say...
She doesn't even notice. She's just like pompous, still looking at them going,
Yes. And they say...
There are 3 options. You can put your firearms in this locker, which we now know you definitely have. And... then you can go about your business on the station. You can go back the way you came at your own expense to your ship and get the fuck out of the system. Or you can spend the next several days in jail.
Gentlemen, I think, John Locke said that the natural liberty of man is to be free from any superior power on Earth, or, if you read into it in Earth contacted systems, and not to be under the will or legislative authority of man, but to have only the law of nature for his rule. And for that reason, gentlemen, and for that reason alone, I am choosing of my own free will to place locker number 3. Yes, I'll just put my weapon in locker number 3. Thank you very much. And we will be proceeding on to the station.
I did not have Pyotr makes a reasonable decision on my season 2 bingo card.
The mask walks up to Juno, puts their arm around her, and puts out their hand. The gun, sweetheart.
For the record, I am still mad at you.
Great.
And no, you can't have my gun.
I'm putting it in the locker for you.
Is this like public swim time rules where we can all use the same locker, or is it different lockers? Is there?
You can use the same locker. Yeah, it's public swim time rules.
The locker smells like chlorine. Is that like a purposeful thing, or?
We bought them secondhand from a public swim time facility.
As they're commonly called in the far future.
Called, yeah. Don't call them pools. That's our sci-fi bullshit name.
Okay. Juno looks at the mask and is kind of disturbed by its smile and its hollow-looking eyes. I can put it in the locker myself. Thank you. And she walks over to the locker and she puts something from her pocket into the locker.
Oh, God.
What?
What do you want me to roll?
Go ahead and make a sleight of hand check.
Excellent.
With a penalty dice.
Well, fuck.
Okay. The mask is going to follow her and come up real close behind her.
Is that a gun in your pocket, or you're just happy to see it?
Because, I don't know, knowing Juno.
Yeah.
Helps guide her hand to her gun.
Right. Oh, I...
Misses slightly.
Sorry, I must have, my hand slipped. I must have grabbed my, my Bible. Oh, silly me. Here is the gun. Take good care of her, please.
The one agent looks to the other and is like,
Are we seeing a fan fiction getting acted out right now? Like, what's happening? Like, dude, stop. Like, no. Concentrate.
If you are, we have full rights over it. I want to make that clear.
Is Glade's hand in Juno's pocket with her hand?
Yeah.
I am still mad at you, and I can do it myself. And she kind of shoves away and steps away and then puts the gun in the locker and huffs and pouts and walks away.
The gun being placed in the locker, the CORPSEC agents, one of them pulls out a metal detector, a little wand, runs it over. Doesn't seem too perturbed if you have knives, doesn't seem to be bothered by the whip whatsoever. And then just nods to you, says,
enjoy your stay.
Thank you. We will. We appreciate your service, especially a service to a corporation that seems, better than service to a nameless public entity.
We agree. We're actually...
Are you shareholders? Like, do you have stock options?
Yeah, absolutely. They pay us exclusively in stock options.
Amazing. That's incredible. Is there like an enlistment age that I might be over? Or?
Where's the book right now?
There's a recruiter. There's a recruiter on the station.
But like, do you have to be younger than I am, or?
No, all you have to be able to do is be able to run 10K without stopping. And
Pyotr turns on his heels, walks away.
Is the book on Juno's person, or is it up in the ship?
The book is on Juno's person.
Oh.
Okay. Who's Juno's person? No, I was kidding. I know, I saw the same scene you guys all did. You make your way onto the station. As you're kind of walking through what looks like a loading bay. Not a very big room, maybe 30 feet by 30 feet by 40 feet. And it's full of crates. And
what's in the crates?
What's in the crates? You don't know. Make an X-ray vision check. Just kidding, you don't have one. Oh my god, that's what he put points in. Shit.
That's a success on hot spittin.
Hot spittin. Hot damn.
Well, so hot spittin's between Juno and Glade. Pyotr's rolling a spot hidden, and he is looking to see if any of the crates are loot.
Incredible. So on a hot spittin check, you do definitely recognize the logo of Spittin' Hot Lube. Which it doesn't do very well in normal space because it's jalapeno flavored, and it's not.
That would have been dangerous for sometimes, dog.
It is.
He would have been like retching,
like very toxic,
diarrhea
for sure, and so not very popular in the furry community. And you get that. You actually do see a little manifest sticker on it. It said it came from Gizen-Sha Station. Obviously, there was some sort of fulfillment error, and so they couldn't use any of the lube.
Wait, so is this our same container of lube that is somehow?
It's not yours. No, but you now understand why they were in the market for an industrial quantity of lube.
Right. Okay.
Oh, because theirs got lost in the mail.
Well, they ordered. This is a return shipping label. This is very important, audience, that we get to the bottom of this. This is a return shipping label because they got jalapeno flavored Spittin' Hot Lube. And they couldn't use it because it's toxic to sometimes dog. This is a horror podcast.
Pyotr makes a note of this and is maybe going to bring it up later, depending on how angry Leah gets.
Yeah. Anyways, you guys, as you are entering this room, you can see there is on the one corner. Or the one big wall is actually just one big airlock that seems to be closed. You can tell this is where larger cargo ships will connect with the station to, load and unload. It is closed. You've entered through one pretty heavy-duty style door, and as you enter, the door behind you just closes, and you hear this as it locks. And then from amongst the crates, you just hear, "We want the book. If you put it down in the center of the room and you let us take it, you can leave."
Quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Because I realized my current hit points are at 6 out of 13.
Mm-hmm.
Would there be any change to that in the time? Like, how does...
Usually, you guys have had one calendar day. Does anyone have any major wounds?
No.
No? Anyone who has lost hit points, because you've had one day, you can regain a hit point.
Thank you.
And you're so welcome.
Thank you, benevolent god.
Yes, of course. Don't spend it all in one place. I will say as well, your armor, if you have body armor, it's nano-weave body armor, so it will re-knit itself. You don't need to like replace plates or anything like that. So,
can Pyotr get a sense of how many individuals are in the room?
Yeah, go ahead and make a listen check, Pyotr. Fucking piece of shit. I'm kidding. I love you so much.
Pyotr goes, there's at least one of them.
Factually accurate.
If I want to figure out how like demented these people are, I want to see if they've kind of like succumbed to the insanity of this cult, or if maybe showing them the book would drive them crazy. How would I like perceive how demented they already seem?
Well, we can only hear them now, but thankfully you can do psychoanalysis over the phone.
Yeah, why don't you try to give him a call no.
I will. I'll do it.
Yeah, so basically you could make a psychoanalysis check. I will give you a penalty dice because you're just doing it on the tone of the voice.
Okay. I'll do it. I swear to God, I just got a 5.
That's huge.
I can't see. My computer's in the way.
I got 2 5s.
Hell yeah. That's 10, so that's a failure. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's like...
Extreme success?
It's a third of my extreme success.
Hot damn. So... It's an extreme success. That's fucking awesome, though. Okay, on an extreme success...
I hypnotize them over the phone.
No, you know what, though? You can't hypnotize them over the phone, because you're not on the phone. But somewhere... Like...
Someone is on hold.
Like, probably, it's like almost 100 light years away. There's a mechanic in Gate City who's just like, yeah, I think I'm gonna smuggle a preacher off the station. This feels like the right move for me.
And give her an acarita. Huh? Yeah?
And give her an acarita. Okay, but on an extreme success, on your psychoanalysis check, you get the sense that, like, this is somebody who is willing to die for what they believe in. As far as them being demented, that's a little bit trickier. You do get the sense that even just, like, from the tone of voice, like, they are fully bought in. They are 100% willing to die and to kill for, you know, what they believe in. In this case, they believe their mission is to retrieve that book. So they'll do whatever they feel like they have to do so.
So, like...
As far as, like, potentially talking your way out of it, maybe will they let you go on an extreme success? You don't think they're letting you leave this room alive.
Okay.
Apologies. I may have blacked out when we first started this scene. How did you describe them, and if they had any weapons? You
haven't seen them. So you are in a smallish room with
crates of lube,
floor to ceiling lube, basically. You're in a sea of lube. No, you are. Yeah. So
spicy.
Just spicy jalapeno lube, spitting hot lube. That's so good. What a
Moving
world.
on.
What a universe we've created, guys.
I think it's hot spitting lube.
It is. No, hot spitting. That was the check that you did. You did a hot spitting check to spot the spitting hot lube. Keep it straight, Alex. Jesus Christ.
Please, my attention span.
I'm so sorry. But you heard this voice call out from within these crates, but you haven't seen them yet, so you don't know exactly how many there are. Okay. I will say, Alastar.
Yeah?
You made a successful check to conceal your gun.
Certainly did.
As you are trying to enter the docking area, you notice that there is a guard posted there who is checking people entering and leaving the space. You can try. He's got a metal detector, so you can try. We can see if your regular success was going to beat his spot hidden check. Because he has a metal detector and he's trying to detect specifically firearms, I'm going to give him a bonus dice on this check. I leave it up to you. If you want to try something else to give yourself an edge, by all means.
That's a very hard thing for me to do. Would I be at all familiar with the idea that they would have metal detectors for this sort of thing?
Yes, absolutely.
If so, could I have hidden my gun just near my sword, which would ping on a metal detector anyways?
Interesting. Okay.
Because then when I hold my arms up to be examined by this person, they would just see the sword.
They're going to see the sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Yep, we can do that. So in that case then, I'm going to remove the bonus dice from the check. It's going to be a straight spot hidden check versus
Perfect.
your regular success.
Perfect.
Alex, do you want to witness this roll?
You're fucked, buds.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Rolled an extreme success. Spot hidden check. Kind of sees the sword, see him just kind of cock his head, runs the metal detector over, gets a couple of pings off of your leather jacket, goes down to the sword, and then I can't make a metal detector noise.
That was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
really good.
That was pretty
Great.
good.
Thanks,
Yeah.
guys.
Again,
I feel seen and heard. And he just kind of looks at it. He says, "Can you take the sword off?"
I can do that, yeah.
Okay.
Might I ask why?
It's enormous chunk of metal, and I need to check if there is other metal on your body, and that enormous chunk of metal will prevent me from doing so.
What if I told you I'm trying to help with the whole situation here, and I'm fairly certain that there's the people with the guns you're looking for are just past those doors?
Oh, wow. That's incredibly kind of you. And actually, we do have something that we could use you for. If you could just take the sword off, that would be super helpful to us as CORPSEC.
Sure, as CORPSEC.
As security aid, the security of the station. Take off the sword.
And you can see the hand just creep up to their sidearm.
I will move to take the sword and instead grab my personal data center. And I'm just going to show them that I myself am in fact an agent of CORPSEC.
Holy shit.
And say, move the fuck out of the way. I've got a job to do, and your piddly ass is holding me back.
You can see, just goes,
863. I don't know.
You wouldn't. You're not in the pay grade, son. Get out the way.
Go ahead and make an intimidate check with a bonus dice. In fact, 2 bonus dice.
I'm already profoundly good at intimidation.
Okay, incredible. 1.5 bonus dice.
That's an extreme success on the first roll.
Hell yeah. You can see him just process. He just takes his hand off his guns.
I'm sorry, sir. By all means.
And he just steps out of your way and waves you through.
And I imagine that by comparison to this person, I'm much larger.
For sure. What's your build?
Build 1.
Build 1. Yeah, 100%. You're pretty significantly larger than this person.
I'm gonna walk by this person and put a hand on their shoulder. Chin up. You've got a job to do. People with guns running around. Tap him a few times. There might be a ruckus in the room beyond. I'll call you if I need you.
Of course, sir. Of course.
As you were. I'll walk by.
And just as you enter the hallway that's going to lead to this cargo room, you hear him speaking into his radio, and he's running your agent ID.
Mm-hmm.
Which, just for the folks at home, would you mind?
Yeah, of course. Alastar Bran, agent ID number 968AB863.
Alrighty. You make your way into the room. Could you go ahead and make a spot hidden check for me, please?
Am I in the same room as them now?
You are now, so you have heard a little bit like something, book.
Ah. Could I do something as well as I enter the room?
Certainly.
I'd like to take out the Jesuit terminal and send a meme of a little yellow man and see how many pings go off in this larger room.
Fucking incredible. Everyone in the room, go ahead and make a listen check, including yourself, Alastar, with a bonus dice.
Despite Pyotr's stumpy ears, he gets an extreme success.
An extreme success. Hell yeah.
Mask got a hard success.
Hard success.
Just the regular success.
Regular success.
I succeed.
She succeeded.
I succeeded. And when we succeed on a check, we check the little box.
Check the little box.
Yeah, see, I already forgot.
Incredible. Staying on top of it. That is our campaign promise for season 2.
Promises we cannot deliver upon.
Definitely not deliver upon. As you have made this kind of assessment, Juno, all of a sudden you all hear from 3 separate places in the room notifications.
Was that mine? And Pyotr checks his data center.
So there's lots of crates all around.
Yes.
The mask ducks down and goes into the crates, trying to be silent.
Okay, go ahead and make a. Well, actually, let's do this then. Okay. What is your intention? Are you gonna
try to sneak up on one of them?
Gotcha.
Where I heard the beep. Let's say on the right side.
Alrighty. Yeah, go ahead and make a stealth check.
I just rolled a 1, son.
Hot fucking dog.
Rolling fucking great right now.
Glade just disappeared.
Yeah.
Already, I was about to say we're gonna move to dex order, but on a fucking extreme success in your stealth check, you immediately, the mask just whoosh, pinpoints it. You duck, like kind of crouch down, and you can see, just like hearing, you can hear this kind of like shuffling, like whoever you are sneaking up on is kind of moving around as you are kind of moving low between some of these crates. You can see there's a Jesuit who's got like a large like machete in his hand, his data center in the other, and he's kind of looking around, and his back is to you. What would you like to do?
I would like to sneak up behind him and try to slit his throat with my arm blade.
Hell yes. Hell yes. Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead and make. So with your cybernetics, there are some checks you have to make.
Yeah.
So go ahead and make those checks.
Either way, that's gonna be extreme success.
Extreme
on my
success.
Con. Yeah.
Absolutely no worries. Go ahead and make your brawl check with 2 bonus dice.
Hard success.
Hard success. Okay. Go ahead and roll your damage.
I guess I never really understand how it works, because like when you want to go for like a kill shot, but technically a blade can only do so much damage. How does that work? You know?
So yeah, you're going for like a coup de grace. That's why I gave you the bonus dice,
right.
To see if you could get like an extreme, like a critical. But let's see.
6.
6 points of damage. Okay, you have to make a con check.
Fail.
That is a big fail.
Yes.
You come up. You're trying to slit his throat as you grab them, try to get the arm sword around and under. They kind of immediately, like, there's instinctively just kind of put their hand up, and you just draw the blade back like over their arm. You see this like this spray of blood and this like exposed bone. Then as you kind of like shove them away, just to kind of like give yourself an angle, you take this huge swipe across the back of their neck. Your sword blade does like kind of bounce off of their spine, and you open up this huge gaping wound. Blood just starts pouring down their neck and down their arm. They drop their data center and their machete, clang, clang, and just like crash into one of the crates, and then just look at you and just pass out. Fall to the ground unconscious. Let's go to dex order.
Also, the mask has all like the blood spurts. It's just like
hell yeah. I love it. Okay, let's.
He loves it.
He loves it. Let's get some dex from everybody.
Is Alastar in the room?
Alastar is now in the room, yeah.
So when Pyotr got an extreme success on his listen check, would he have also noticed Alastar, or would any of us have noticed Alastar essentially
Pyotr,
sneak up behind us?
Specifically, you would have heard footsteps approaching from the other side of the room.
Jesus.
Yes, very good call. Very good call, Catherine. Absolutely.
Without the ears, he just hears things through bone conductance. So he just hears.
And
You feel the vibration. Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. Let's just go around and I'll just go in order. Pyotr, what's your dex?
40.
Glade?
65.
Alastar?
60.
50.
Juno, 50. Okay. Juno, what's your highest combat skill?
Is firearms a combat skill?
Yep.
50.
50. Okay.
Is credit rating a combat skill?
Not in this context, only socially.
Okay.
Oof.
50.
Only for the class war.
Only for the class war. Glade, you are up first. Discretion dropped. You got a hard success on your listen check. You have a kind of vague notion of where the next person is. You can try to sneak up on them again, but it'll be your action to do a stealth. So like if you can try to go to like where you think they are, you can use your stealth action to do that. You can try to listen for them, or you can try to spot hidden them. The other option is these crates are not floor to ceiling, even though I said that just because it was funny because it's Spittin' hot lube. The crates are like approximately the height of like a person, maybe a little bit taller.
Okay.
So it is possible you could like jump up on top of one of the crates. They would see you, but you would get like a view of the room.
Right. The mask is going to rip off a couple of buttons from their jacket.
Okay.
And they are going to toss them kind of away from themselves.
RIP lift. Yep. Hell yeah.
With the intention of just trying to make a sound distraction somewhere else.
For sure.
And then they're going to try to move to the outside of the room, trying to like leverage just a different position than where they were before, so they can't be seen.
For sure. In this case, then, I would say this is just going to be another stealth check.
Okay.
Basically.
That is good. Regular success.
Regular success. Okay. Make a couple checks here. They're blind and deaf, apparently.
Are they Pyotr's cousins?
Pyotr's cousins, yeah. They come out, they have eye patches on their ears and their eyes. And also their nose. They're just like, none of the senses, fuck them. But they, you throw the buttons, and there's this clang, and you hear this kind of like scuffling on the ground, this little like shifting of weight. You very silently, with like very practiced footsteps, make your way to another corner of the room. Go ahead and roll a luck check for me with a bonus dice.
So much bonus. That is a success.
Success. Okay, so you don't accidentally run into one of these Jesuits. Amazing. Okay, great. That'll be your turn.
Mm-hmm.
That'll bring us to Alastar. Alastar, you've heard this clanging and this person just like gasping and like yelling in pain and then collapse. What are you doing?
Oh, quick question. Would Alastar have seen me before I disappeared?
I don't think you are all in view of each other yet, no.
Okay, cool. So,
if I heard that, I'm going to draw my sword and have my gun in my other hand and just start slowly walking through the crates, one step at a time, looking for someone. I know they're particularly jumpy folk, so I've just got my weapons ready. I'm going to try and find one closer to the buzz that wasn't, the one that's gargling in the corner now.
You got a regular success.
I did, yeah.
So, gave you basically the same options that I gave Glade just now. So you can... Thank you so much. That I gave the mask just now. That you can jump up on top of the crates, get an instant read of where everyone is in the room, or you can make like a listen check to try to pinpoint where they are.
If I were to jump up on the crates, would I be able to shoot at people as well?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll jump up on the crates.
Hell yeah. You do so, and you immediately get a bead on the remaining two Jesuits. You also, I think at this point, and you would probably see him as well, you do see this figure with what looks like a bloody sword, like emanating from their arm.
Oh, he sees me?
Yeah, he's jumped up because you guys are hiding.
Oh, he jumped up.
The crates, yeah. So he jumped up on the crates. So you see this figure with this terrifying mask, covered in blood, with his bloody sword off in the corner. Pretty sure it's not a Jesuit.
Yeah.
And then you do see, basically Juno and Pyotr kind of by the entrance. And you see two other Jesuits in like separate corners of the room, both holding machetes.
Do I have a clear line of sight on them for a shot, or would they be...
Yep, for sure.
Perfect. I'm very fast. I have 9 movement speed. Could I cover a distance to make my shot easier between me and the Jesuit?
Yeah, for sure. I would say so.
I'd like to do that. As I'm running across, I'll yell to the two who have not taken action yet.
For sure.
The young woman and the old man, and say, religions these days do have problems with them. Take cover, please. And I'm going to shoot at the first Jesuit that I see.
Hell yeah.
I do have 3 shots.
Well, good for you.
Yeah.
Do you have a revolver?
Yeah.
You said you were reloaded previously.
Yeah.
You made a point of saying that. Very good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, fuck you, I guess, then fine. I won't say you run out of bullets.
You run out of bullets. Wait.
Stupid gamer.
First shot is not good. And so the second shots are going to be even harder. Second shot is good. Third shot is a hard success.
Okay, sweet. Go ahead and roll your damage for the shots that hit.
10 on the first.
Okay.
13 on the second.
So total of 23 points of damage.
Correct.
You jump up, you yell your cool action movie one-liner, and then you get a nice like sight picture on the Jesuit. You can see him look up and like eyes go wide. It almost looks like he's getting ready to throw his machete at you, and there's this report. It's like crack of gunfire. 1, 2, 3. Your first shot takes him in the neck, and your second shot goes right through his eye. You can see his brains splatter against the vat of Spittin hot lube behind him before holes are poked in it, and Spittin hot lube just douses his corpse as if to add insult to injury. as he collapses to the ground, dead as fuck, as they say in medicine. That is your turn. Hell yeah.
Perfect.
One Jesuit still standing. That will bring us to Juno.
What did he just say?
You see this sorry, did you say Alastar has long hair? No.
Yeah, but tied into a braid.
Yeah, so you see this huge Viking Irishman with a broadsword and a revolver jump up on a crate and just absolutely ace somebody off screen.
Pyotr? Who did you? What?
1 minute, I'm trying to check my data center. I think I have a message. Damn thing is so tricky these days.
No matter. I don't have a gun. All I can do is smother somebody with my robes.
Not where I thought that was going.
Enough. Juno is going to protect the book while also trying to get a bit of a read on this new guy.
Gotcha. You can go ahead and make a psychoanalysis check on the long-haired, leather jacket, broadsword, pistol-wielding maniac who just jumped out on a tub of lube.
Perfect.
I love our podcast.
I want you to feel this so bad.
I got a hard success.
A hard success.
Yeah.
Alastar, what do you think she gets on a hard success based on what you've presented so far?
I would say that apparently this person has a sense of pleasure in particularly dealing with this group of people. Doesn't seem to be bothered by it. It's not just a job, not 9 to 5, but this is the fun part of his day. Other than that, just trying... I don't know what personality traits you glean. Maybe from the little joke. He's a person who tries to be funny, but doesn't really succeed most of the time.
Juno doesn't think he's very funny.
Yeah.
Alex just pointed to himself with a big grin on his face.
But seems very comfortable with the sword and the gun.
Alex stops pointing to himself.
Does Juno get the idea that he is this is vindictive against religion based on his comment and the way that he is kind of fighting these Jesuits because he is taking this vindictive stance against religion?
No, not really. It's more about what these people do and less about what they believe. He just enjoys making fun of religion. It's an easy target.
This is going to be tough for her. Thank you. And then she tries to hide.
Okay. Well, you made your psychoanalysis check, so that would probably be your action. But definitely, I would say Juno could
back.
Take cover, 100%, absolutely. Okay. Scratch one Jesuit. The other is gonna try to listen for you guys. Ooh, that is a regular success. Wait, why the fuck would he try to listen for you guys? There's a big guy standing up on top of the thing. All right, I'm gonna mulligan that. I'm not going to use that roll, though, because it's a regular success. Is going to pull himself up on top of the vat and is just going to charge at you, Alastar, because you are very obvious. Okay, he's going to swing his machete at you. You can choose to dodge or you can choose to fight back.
Would it be a opposed brawl?
It would be a opposed brawl.
I'd like to fight back.
Okay, so not only is it a opposed brawl, though, and I don't know if this changes your decision, you have to get a better level of success than him. So if he gets a regular, you would need a hard, etc., etc. If you dodge, you just need to tie.
Yeah. Man, that's tough.
But yeah, on a fight back, you do get to make a damage roll against him.
I have to believe I'm better with a sword than this person, so I'm going to fight back.
Alrighty. Let's go.
Normal success.
Failure. He goes to swing with the machete, and you just you drew your sword already, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you just this is a child's type of swing. He's swinging it like a baseball bat. You just basically flick the tip up, and then just cling, there's this ringing of metal as you just redirect the tip back down, and his swing seems to pass through you, but the machete you just completely changed the angle, and now he's completely overbalanced. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Perfect. That would be 12 points of damage.
12 points of damage. How do you want to do this?
In the situation that you just described, it's more like a riposte. So I redirect his blade and then take a false lunge forward and just drive the blade up through his chin, catching his head so his eyes are looking at me. Before he bleeds out, I'll just say, was the book here? It's them?
As his like eyes go wide and the blood rolls down the fuller of your blade, and you can just see him, and then the light goes out. Whoosh.
I'll quickly remove the blade and lean it on my leather jacket before sheathing it. Turn to the old man who's still standing in the middle of the room.
Hello, were you trying to call me just now? I can never tell with these portable data centers.
That's all right, old timer. Let me help you out. And I'll jump down off the crate.
I hold it at the portable data center. It's still on the lock screen.
Oh my God. And this guy's like, you're just letting this guy, he's just covered in blood.
Covered
just
in
like,
blood.
Well, if he was going to kill me, it's pretty clear that he would just kill me.
Fair.
It's a good read on the situation.
What's everyone else doing while these two knuckleheads are being stupid?
I am watching him
it.
like a hawk.
Right.
The mask
The mask.
obviously sees. Would the mask have heard what he said? What Alastar would have said to the guy
About the
Asked him
book?
about the book.
Yes, absolutely. He was not being subtle at all.
No.
Okay. The mask.
He was having a sword fight on some lube.
Yeah.
Yes.
As you do.
Once again, I love this podcast.
Not the type of sword fight usually needs.
Quietly, so still trying to be stealth.
Mm-hmm.
The mask is going to go back to the first Jesuit that went unconscious.
For sure. I'll say just because Alastar is busy trying to teach a boomer how to use technology. No problem. Absolutely.
Okay. They want to check him. Like, is he still alive?
It does seem to be still alive. Yeah, it's like unconscious, but is still breathing.
Okay. They want to try to improvise or fashion something to like tie their hands behind their back.
Yeah, for sure. Easy enough to do.
Yeah. Cool.
Absolutely.
And their legs.
Yeah. I would say you could find something. You are in a cargo bay, so like even odds there would be some sort of like ratcheting straps or something like that nearby.
Cool.
Not a problem.
And then the mask will stay kind of hidden and kind of just peek around and just watch Alastar and what's going on over there, and not reveal themselves.
Okay. Very good. And sorry, did you say you were searching his body, or did you say you're tying him up?
Just tied him up.
Okay.
For
cool.
now. Yeah.
Cool.
Can I'm assuming that the phone is unlocked. The personal data center is unlocked now. Is it?
Yeah, you had to swipe up on the device. Just
right, and then the camera comes up. Is it supposed to? I don't.
No, you were pressing the wrong button.
Oh, okay. Well,
anyway,
I'm probably going to be asking you again at some point.
All right.
Anyways, thank you. It's very nice to meet you. I see you've killed 2 people. That may be an issue with CORPSEC on the station here, so I think you'll probably be wanting to get somewhere else.
For other reasons, yeah, I'd like to go somewhere else, yeah.
Well, that's good.
I'm not too worried about CORPSEC.
Interesting. Why is that?
I'm part of the organization.
Like, you're a part of CORPSEC, or you're part of another organization that's not concerned about CORPSEC?
The former, but more tangentially.
Well, this is going to be a lot of paperwork for you, isn't it?
I'll have to do a lot of explaining to Jax, but myself, I just kind of try and skirt by. Might I ask you, now that I've opened up your terminal and we have this camaraderie flourishing between us, why are you here and with the young priest? Are you some sort of pedophile?
By the way...
Wow.
Pyotr goes, I think usually it's the priest that's the older one, but no, I don't think anyone here is a pedophile. That would be a suboptimal choice. We're here essentially to get our bearings again. We've had some run-ins with these religious types for a little bit. We're a little bit the worse for wear, and we need to get our bearings. I take it you're not a friend of them.
Not particularly, no.
It's worth noting as well, given your pursuit of the Jesuits of Christ, you 100% recognize Faith Juno Angevin.
I'm going to try and play it off a little bit nonchalant.
All right.
Because she's just kind of creepily watching me from behind some boxes of loom.
100%. She's crouched, kind of just holding the book and like wrapped in her robes, just glaring at you.
Because Juno got a hard psychoanalysis success before, I'm going to get you to make a fast talk check for me, just because you are trying to pass this off.
Oh, that's a fail.
It's a fail. Juno, this guy knows who you are.
Juno tries to hide.
Okay, go ahead and make a stealth check.
Just like scurries around the corner.
Like literally scurries away.
I am 100% confident that the two people I dealt with are dead. There should have been a third. I'm going to take a look around. Maybe they're alive.
While we're on this topic,
questions.
does CORPSEC have any regulations about looting bodies?
These are terrorists. No.
Excellent, thank you. Excuse me. And Pyotr going to move off and loot the bodies.
Hell yeah. Okay.
What?
You do a look around?
Oh, I'm trying to find the third one. Hopefully, maybe I have a bad problem with not leaving them alive to ask questions.
Right. Juno, what'd you get in your stealth check? A fail? Okay. Not being specifically sought after at this point. So we'll get to that when we get to that. The mask. You are just kind of like watching this. You can see Alastar start to like walk around this room looking for, obviously, as stated, the other Jesuit. I can't remember. No, make a stealth check. Make a stealth check for me. I can't remember if I already made you make a stealth check or not.
Regular success.
A regular success. Alastar, as you are looking for the Jesuit, go ahead and make a spot hidden check for me.
That's a fail.
A fail. You manage to stay out of sight line, and you're kind of like skirting around, like keeping an eye on him. You can see Alastar kind of like weaving his way through. And as you are kind of like creeping around, you come around a corner and you can just see like just crouched right in the middle of a little laneway between two things with the book kind of above her head. Juno Angevin.
Holding up a pair of headphones.
Yeah,
it's the headphones and then the book under the headphones, so they fit on my head.
Exactly.
My new headphones fit fine because the ears are big enough. Yeah.
They found one that they actually usually use for therapy for baby elephants, and they gave that to Catherine.
Thanks. Thank you. And they sound great.
Incredible.
Well, like for one, the mask doesn't want to move too far away from the body.
For sure.
But
it's
yeah,
a pretty small room, so you could manage to do that for sure.
They see Juno, and the mask just like tilts its head.
Can I try and do like a almost like a body language talk? Like I see that, I'm like
Juno nods.
Juno nods, as if to say.
What are you trying to communicate with this?
Like, who the fuck is that?
Oh, yeah, that's easy enough to do.
Yeah.
I have to roll for that. Yeah.
Kind of that. Yeah.
Imagine Juno's holding the book above her head, giving like wide eyes and shaking and gesturing towards this huge man on the other side of the crates.
For sure.
The mask lingers for a second and then just looks away.
Typical.
And
you
tries
hear that, Alastar.
Yeah. So I hear a little bit of noise on the far side of the crate. Just kind of probably the person I saw hiding earlier. Is the Jesuit all tied up? Assuming I find them.
Yeah, because you failed your spot hidden check, but you also didn't really like try to hide the body necessarily, it's to hide yourself. So yeah, I would say eventually you're going to come across them. It's not a big room.
Perfect. I'll go up to them. Are they conscious?
They are unconscious now.
So I'm going to say the moment that he reaches the body, the mask, hopefully kind of behind him. Yeah.
Successful
cool.
Stealth check versus a failed spot hidden. Yeah, for sure. Well, she just murks Tom's new PC. Like,
and you stab him in the back, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I am never going for the back again. That was a bad move.
The mask is more than welcome to test it.
The mask is going to step out, blade still out and dripping with blood, and says,
"That one belongs to me."
You hear this from hopefully behind you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Turn
hopefully.
around. Oh, good heavens. That's a unique look. What's with the arm? Must have cost you a small fortune.
If the blade goes back into the arm.
Exhibit A.
You notice there is a membrane. This is just for me. There's a membrane as the blade retracts into your body that grips the blade really tightly and like basically squeegees the foreign blood off.
Just falls on the ground.
Yeah, just splats to the ground.
So gross.
Your handiwork here then.
Okay, I'm sorry, Catherine. You're right. Glade gets a blood infection.
Ew.
Just like how Glade can canonically ejaculate blood from her arm. That's good.
That's pretty hot. The stars aren't all right at gmail.com. Anyway, sorry, continue. You've come blood from your arm. Go ahead.
Once again, just taking the once over of her. Yours? Your handiwork? All right, you can ask him the questions. I'm just going to take the terminal unless you want to keep that as well.
No, you can have that.
Perfect. Take the terminal. He's unconscious. Do you have a way to wake him up?
Not here.
Oh, I do.
Don't.
We want to wake him up to ask questions.
I told you he's mine.
Is this your house? I'm confused. Is this your lube?
Pyotr pipes up and goes, well, technically, we might have a claim to some of it by way of replacement for an earlier deal. So.
Now, see, you had already said that you only wanted the data center.
Yeah, assuming you were going to ask him questions. Investigation.
Not here.
All right. Well, whenever you take him, I'd like to be there when you ask. Trying to find some things. Also, I don't like these people. Particularly, the ones who abduct people and feed them to weird creatures. Killing friends and whatnot.
I don't care.
Ah, fair enough. I could tell from the dispassionate mask. I'll stand up. Brush myself off. If I recall correctly, you mentioned that I saw the security guard checking my ID number.
Mm-hmm.
Well, everyone in here, including you, priest, somewhere. My name is Alastar. I believe we're united with common purpose. These Jesuits are not your friends. They're not my friends. Happy to help you out. Trying to get to a different place. I realize you have a ship. Would you be willing to offer transport for me if I offer protection in what way I can and skill in what way I can?
Pyotr is about to pipe up and say no, and then remembers a promise he made to Doug that they would get their vengeance. And looks at the large man with a broadsword and a pistol and blood dripping off of his coat and thinks to himself, well, that could be useful.
The mask, slightly calling out, Juno, sweetheart, what do you want?
And she slowly stands up, takes the book off of her head, and shoves it into her robes, trying to hide it a little bit. I think that at this point, we don't have a lot of friends. CORPSEC also doesn't seem to be our friend. So how will you convince us we can trust you?
It is my belief that you have something on your person that is directly related to my task in this portion of the galaxy and the safety of my family at large. I've no reason to compromise. That's the whole reason I've been through everything I've been through. I'm not just going to throw that away because I don't like you.
Interesting. Now, you know about something I have on my person.
I believe so.
What do you suppose that is?
These terrorist idiots were talking about the book. I believe that book is directly related to materials that I've studied previously that got me this assignment.
Materials you've studied?
Yes, I'm a learned man from time to time.
Intriguing.
A fellow scholar, says Pyotr.
Oh, no.
Do I have a book for you? And then I'm assuming the mask just throws a hand over Glade's or over Pyotr's mouth.
I'd be happy to offer peer review, but I am ruthless.
Maybe one more revision.
I do not entirely trust you, and especially your connections to CORPSEC, but...
noting.
It's CORPSEC.
It's CORPSEC. I don't know. I don't know if that was a Catherine error or
That was
Juno
a Catherine error.
Okay.
Get your fucking paramilitary police forces straight.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus Christ.
I don't necessarily trust you or your connections to Corp or Gate or whatever sect you are a part of, but I am intrigued.
Ooh.
However, you can. Not like that.
Tell it to the mask.
Not like that. And she looks at the mask. I'm still mad at you. Now, I do presume, though, you may be quite useful. Being a part of CORPSEC?
Again, loose relationship, but go on.
You see, I have this item that is very important to me, and it's important that I get it back. And they confiscated it very rudely, and they didn't seem to know who I am, but you do.
I do, yeah. But I'm not the person who works security 9 to 5 confiscating guns when people arrive on a space station.
You seemed to get through the door with your gun just fine.
Yeah, I'm massive and have a sword. No one really stops me if I push through them.
So they know who you are, but they don't know who I am. This is an outrage.
What happens if your father steps into a room and you're in his shadow? Are they concerned about your presence or your dad's?
Juno, all of the color from Juno's face, she just becomes white as a ghost.
Yeah.
The masked head tilts, looking at Juno.
To these other CORPSEC guys, I'm like your dad. I overshadow other people sometimes when I need to. I'd rather not. Gets me into trouble. Again, gonna have to deal with that later. Which is why I propose whatever business you have here, we get it done with quick, and then we can return to whatever ship you're on.
The mask picks up the body of the unconscious Jesuit, throws it over her shoulder, and starts to walk towards the door.
The door back to the ship or the door?
Yeah.
You guys see Pyotr standing there with just armfuls of clothing and weapons and data centers, anything else, and there's 2 naked bodies on the floor.
The clothes worth noting are covered in blood, and at least one of them is in jalapeno spittin' hot lube.
What are you doing?
But they're tastefully arranged.
I'm not saying that you can't do it. I just want to paint the picture.
The taste in tastefully is spicy jalapeno.
With a vague silicone aftertaste.
And as the mask walks by Alastar, they say, as the captain, I am allowing you on our ship. So let's go.
Fair enough, Captain.
But we will get my revolver back, right?
Yes. Yes, we will.
Good.
I don't mean to be a spoil sport here, and trust me, I am all for taking off of this station as soon as possible, but we do have our landing gear issue.
Right. Do you know anyone on this station who would be able to help us perhaps repair?
I will also say...
Also, is there like a thrift store or something on this station?
Are you looking to pawn the bloody clothes?
I'm a man of economics, and these have value and utility. I just want to see it realized.
You think there's a demand for bloody used clothes covered in lube?
Sir, let me tell you, from our last space station adventure, I can tell you there's a demand for a lot of things.
Far be it for me to assume.
I will say, the mask, as you are overhearing this conversation, it occurs to you that you purchased the ship, or you required the ship from somebody with a junkyard full of ship parts. And there's no real need for you necessarily to land or dock with anything until you get back to Gate City.
Word.
And to answer your question now, I was more or less shipwrecked here.
Shipwrecked?
Well, bamboozled, hoodwinked. They took away my ship. I'm actually a little bit sad about it.
You're sad about it? Do you perhaps want to talk about how you feel?
Sure, why not? But I don't think this is the time or the place to do that.
Why don't we do that back on the ship? But then, I was meant to come here for a reason. I have a friend who told us to meet him here, but I haven't heard from him.
We don't need him.
Safe to say we could probably meet them elsewhere then, yeah?
We do need him, looking at the mask. And I assume we could probably contact him elsewhere, but he is important to me and we will keep him around.
And is he on the wrecked ship as well? Not able to easily maneuver through space?
No, he has access to quite a lot.
So you're saying we can easily move and they can follow us?
Perhaps.
Don't see a problem with it. I like your captain's attitude, by the way. Very direct.
Do you?
Why not?
Well, maybe you should reserve judgment on that.
I try not to judge people I just met. Other than Jesuits. Fuck them.
Nice. So are we all walking then?
Well, wait, I do have one more thing. You seem like a young, strapping, strong fellow. Could you help me with one of these containers? I'm gonna try to drag a container of lube back to the ship.
Are the doors big enough to accommodate a container of lube going through them?
The massive ones you guys were hiding behind? No. However, there are several smaller barrels, like maybe, I don't know, 70 or 80 liter barrels that could potentially be dragged
Okay,
through.
everyone take a barrel, start rolling. We'll get it back to the ship.
I'll pick up a barrel for the old man.
I am not getting my hands dirty pushing a barrel.
We'd be stealing, wouldn't we? I'm not going to steal barrels from this place.
Well, I mean, you see this bill of lading here on the side of one of these containers. It was going to somebody who doesn't need it anymore.
Looks like it got returned.
Pyotr, if you cause us trouble trying to get back to my ship, you will not have hands to carry a barrel of lube.
Pyotr starts pushing one kind of barrel by hip thrusting it. And when that doesn't work, he takes his knife and punches a hole in the side of it so that a little spurt of lube comes out in the direction he wants to move it, and maintaining eye contact with the mass, just kind of hip checks it towards the door as it glides along its own little trail of lube.
Points for ingenuity.
It is very intelligent.
Kind of. Intelligent is not how I would describe it.
No,
Imaginative, yes. Imaginative, creative, yeah.
Can Pyotr make an intelligence check for me, please?
Oh my god.
Whoa!
That's an extreme success.
Pyotr, you have this moment of thinking, I'm a fucking genius. I've solved every problem that has crossed my plate today. And
I know I opened my data center now.
As you are moving the barrel across, it's incredibly easy. It's actually it's sliding like no problem. And in fact, it gets light enough that you could just pick it up. And as the last bit of lube finally squirts out, you've reached the door of the cargo hold with an empty barrel.
Well, I'm adding it to my fucking inventories.
Please do, by all means.
Empty barrel of lube?
Empty barrel of jalapeno.
Damaged
lube.
barrel of lube.
You guys are turning around.
Oh, and armful of various weapons and clothes.
For sure.
I think it was just machetes, unless there's something else on their bodies.
Machetes. Those machetes. If you guys are just making your way back to the ship, it's not a problem. The two CORPSEC border agents, essentially.
I just want to nod as I hip check the barrel past them. Just like a strong gentleman.
They immediately look at you like, obviously, what the fuck? But then...
it's a strong nod.
It's a strong nod. It's a very strong nod, as if to say, one of them puts up his hand to his earpiece under his helmet, and then just listens, and their eyes just immediately snap to Alastar. And the one just turns to you and says, We're comping the fart shuttle ride back to your ship.
That's highly kind of you.
Of course, sir.
And you will give her gun back.
Of course.
Yes, I'd like my pistol back as well.
If we're being honest, we were going to do that anyway. It's kind of how this works. It's not like we're just keeping them forever.
Now, and we're with him.
I'm sorry about that.
No, it's fine, sir. Of course. Right away.
And they get your guns back and they give them to you.
I'd like to be the last person to board the shuttle so I can have a word with these two gentlemen.
For sure. I mean, unless anyone has any objections.
Nope.
Nope. Okay.
Don't take too long.
I won't.
And watch your step. It's slippery.
Yeah, thanks for that.
You're just pushing an empty barrel.
You've staked a claim, man. That's your barrel. Once everyone else is aboard the little toot shuttle, I'm gonna look at these two men. So apparently your compadre on the other side of the door told you who I was.
Yeah, we ran your code, and yeah, obviously, like you have insane clearance.
I do.
And sir, I'm so sorry. Like it's not any of our business. Like what?
You're right. It's not your business, and you're going to forget that I did my business here as well.
I mean, it's just direct contravention of station protocol. If you pull rank, like it has to be logged.
You can log it, sure. But my business here is not of your concern. My presence is another thing. Do you understand?
Maybe.
Let me make it clear for you.
Please do.
In that cargo hold, you'll find 2 naked dead men, recently ransacked by an old curmudgeon. Additionally, one was just hauled aboard the fart shuttle. Still alive.
No, I saw that. We were here for that whole bit.
Yeah. The 2 dead men are terrorists. I had to deal with them, as is my purview, which is why they gave me clearance and why you check things into cubbies for passengers.
Ouch.
My business, the dead men, are not your concern. Do you understand?
Yes.
Good. A janitor can clean that up in a day or 2, especially if they use the lube on the ground.
Okay.
It also works as a paint remover.
Absolutely.
I love the future chemistry that allows silicon-based jalapeno flavored lubricant.
It's the jalapeno flavor that
specifically, yeah. That company is currently rebranding as cleaning supplies. You seem thoroughly cowed. You guys make your way back to the Violet King Henry. Are you you're going to give them the Beamgate appointment, I'm assuming?
I will be, yeah.
The beam barge.
The beam barge.
The bean barge.
The beam barge.
Bean.
It actually has
exclusively by baristas.
This actually does have a bean barge. It's readily accessible. You guys can get your frappuccinos. You dock. The beam barge has its own kind of like docking mechanism. Like you wouldn't use your normal docking clamps for that anyway. You attach yourselves to it, and then after a day or so, there's still no word from Tenjin, and that's your scheduled departure arrives. Reality breaks. It shatters into angry red lines as you are pulled into this moment between moments. Juno, from within the book, a screaming pain emerges. Go ahead and make a sanity check for me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, we pass.
You pass.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah. Regular success?
Is it based on my total sanity?
Yep.
I'll spend 4 luck to make it a hard success.
On a hard success, okay. This pain invades your mind, and even on a regular success, you take hard success. Sorry, you take 1 point of sanity damage as you are kind of like clutching the side of the ship, and then you manage to you almost fall to your feet, but you manage to stay standing. Just this like sheer power of will. This is not the first kind of like psychic onslaught you've experienced in the last several days. And all of a sudden, a hand appears on your shoulder, and you look at Doug, and his lips don't move, but you hear in your head, the pain ceases. He just says, "I'm gonna need your help, Juno. I've got a lot of work to do." And that's where we will end season 1.
Season 2.
Nope.
Oh.
Yep. Yep. It's episode 1, season 2.
Do you want to re-record that?
Nope.
Thanks for making it this far. So begins Season 2. New episodes every 2 weeks. We're also stoked to announce the release of our new recap show on YouTube, Punygate, hosted by none other than our very own Tom Kenny. Punygate will release the week following our episode release. This podcast is edited, mixed, and mastered by me, Brian Gashgarian. All the music in the podcast is composed by me. Special thanks to Alex, Leah, Tom, and Catherine for lending me their talent for this. And to Kelsey for her voiceover work. You can find us on Insta, TikTok, and Twitch at The Stars Aren't Alright, or on Twitter at TSAA Podcast. You can support us on Patreon at the link in our bio, and chat with us on Discord using that very same link. But, as a reward for making it to the end, I would like to remind you that some geckos can walk on water due to their hydrophobic skin. Most of all, thanks to you for listening, and we'll see you next time.